This week, a bipartisan group of lawmakers here in Washington introduced a bill that would stop arms sales to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. A number of reasons were cited, including the war in Yemen. Senator Collins, who's one of the sponsors of this, said, "The kingdom has committed egregious and unacceptable violations of human rights." What is your response to that, and when will the war in Yemen end?
We are fighting a war to prevent Yemen from being taken over by a terrorist organization allied with Iran and Hezbollah. We responded to the invitation of the Yemeni government. This is not a war that we chose, and this is not a war that we wanted, but we cannot allow a strategically important country to be dominated by a terrorist group allied with Iran and Hezbollah. I find it very strange that members of Congress would try to curtail allies like Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates in trying to push back against terrorist organizations supported by Iran and Hezbollah. So basically what this legislation is doing is it's providing ammunition to the Death to America crowd.
Well, the reasons cited include, the civilian casualties as a result of the war and the fact that there's widespread starvation in the country, that everyday people, not just the terrorists you're fighting, are suffering as a result of that.
Yes, and that's because of the actions of the Houthis. The Houthis are the ones who lay siege on towns and villages and prevent humanitarian assistance from coming in, and as a result, people starve and people blame the coalition.
Will Saudi allow the roads to reopen, to allow passage of food through the ports?
We're not the ones who are closing the roads. The Houthis are. We're the ones that are providing the largest amount of humanitarian assistance to Yemen of any country in the world. We've provided $13 billion plus in assistance to Yemen over the last 4 years, and we will continue to provide assistance to the Yemeni people.
So are you confident that the Trump administration will continue its support of Saudi Arabia in this war, refueling planes, continuing arms sales?
We don't need the refueling. We're doing it ourselves. In terms of the defense equipment that we buy from the U.S., it's important to Saudi Arabia and it's important to the U.S. We are pushing back against Iran trying to take over a strategically important country in the Arabian Peninsula. And this is definitely not only in the interest of Saudi Arabia, but in the interest of the United States and the whole world.